Let's just check in as we always do. Check in with yourself. Bring yourself from the past and the future and your thoughts, all of that. Bring it right into this moment. Notice what the inner environment is right now. Your body, your physical body, your energy and sensations, feelings, all of that. Bring your attention into this moment, what's here right now. And as you're doing that, you're probably going to notice there's some tight spots in the body, or maybe spots that aren't tight exactly, but could be a little softer. This is really all one system, the body mind, and we can't help but be affected by pandemic, as well as all of the problems and fears and losses in our personal lives related to the pandemic or not. It's a very complicated time, very intense. In some ways, we're enjoying it, in other ways, we're really struggling. And all of the old patterns of the mind really come forward. The old patterns and fears in the nervous system. And we work with this as best we can with resilience. We've been through so many hard times, none of them exactly like this, some of them more immediately threatening, but certainly all of them different from this worldwide pandemic. As we're tuning into our distress and the stresses of the time, what's going on in our lives, how does it feel in our body? We're also tuning into the strength and resilience, the tools that we have to soften our shoulders and take a few deeper breaths. This growing ability to be kind and present and welcoming to everything that's going on right now inside of us. So we don't have to welcome the grief and loss of a worldwide pandemic. That's a very difficult situation to be in. And even as we're not welcoming that, we still could work with I'm okay on some level, even if I have hardships, I could still be okay. If we think back to all of the difficult times in our life and we've made it through to now, and what got us through in part was our toughness, our persistence, our ability to stay and get through it, even if it wasn't very graceful or perfect the way we thought it might have been. And through all of this, we really learn how to broaden our scope of what's okay. It's not just a perfect environment that's okay. We can also flourish in other kinds of environments where there might be stress or fear or grief. Certainly, there's grief. And sometimes we might have a symbol of our strength and resilience or an image. If you do, you could bring that up right now too and notice that. What would remind you? What is a symbol that would remind you of your own resilience? In the Fraser clan that I belong to, the symbol on the crest is I am ready. And when I think back to my ancestors, they went through some pretty hard times. And there's something in us that kind of gets our feet flat on the ground and our legs steady and our mind determined and our whole system works with us in terms of surviving this and remembering our strength. And what that feels like when we have courage and when we're aligned with our own self, our own higher values. Feel into that in your body. And check your body from head to toes to see if you could settle and relax. One way to do that is through the back of our body. Let yourself settle and be supported by the chair or the floor. Notice the support of your environment, the regulation of temperature, the safety of walls. And even as it's not a perfect safety, there is a safety that's sufficient for us to relax and do a practice. So notice that. Relax your forehead and eyebrows, your eyes. And as you're doing that, resolve to let go of any worry, any planning, or worst case scenario thinking, just for this next little while in the practice. Soften your forehead and let go of worry. Bring your attention down into your mouth and jaw. If you're clenching your teeth, let that loosen. Loosen the whole hinges of your jaw. Let your tongue settle on the floor of your mouth. Notice your neck and shoulders. You could bring them up towards your ears a bit if you wanted, and then let them come back down. Roll them around a bit if that helps. See if you could let go of that shielding in the back of your body. We can actually be tough and strong without being tight. So notice that. I could let my shoulders relax and I could tune into my arms and legs and let them relax as well, knowing that if I need to spring into action, I can do that from here. It's not actually beneficial to be tightened up. Notice your chest as well and your stomach. The way our body naturally breathes when we're not stressed is diaphragmatically. As we breathe in, the diaphragm muscle lowers, the lungs fill with air, our stomach rises or expands. And as we breathe out, the opposite happens, and our stomach softens and falls back towards the spine. And all of the shallow breathing and jerkiness and holding our breath, all of those get in the way of this ideal healthy breath. And they're all caused by fear, some kind of habitual tightening up. So if you are completely confident, feeling really strong, let your breath reflect that. And if you're not feeling that way, breathe like that anyway and see what happens then. enough air, not too much, a nice abundant amount of air. Let your lungs fill, and then when your lungs are full of this rejuvenating oxygenated air, then let that air go and let it really release out of your lungs. It gives us more room to breathe in the oxygenated air and then let it go again. And let your breath come back to an easy rhythm. And bring your attention into your heart center. Sometimes we can feel the energy of that. Sometimes it feels kind of blank, but it's definitely the area just in the lower part of the ribs, in the middle part of the chest, protected by the rib cage. It's more in the center. It's where we feel. If you felt an experience of love, we feel that in the heart center area. For a few breaths, keep your attention really focused in the heart center. And then for a few breaths, let yourself expand your attention area to your whole body, the space your body is occupying, and what's happening in that space. All the way to your hands and fingers, fingertips, your toes, the tips of your toes, back of your legs, your upper back, behind your ears, muscles of your eyes, down the whole front of your body. And then notice the heart center in that space and let your attention really focus there again. We can still feel the movement of our body with the breath is just below the heart center. So you could still anchor your attention to the breath, even if it's in the background. And if it comes easily to you, visualize a beautiful, warm, golden glow of light at the heart center. And as you're paying attention to that light, feel it expanding out into the area around the heart center, into the front of the ribs, down into the stomach and kidneys and liver, to the back of the rib cage, your lower back, behind your shoulder blades, up through your upper back, through your throat, up through your head, down through your arms and legs. Let that light at the heart center radiate out so that it fills up the whole entire space that your body is occupying. If there's any energy or sensation in the heart center, you might notice that. You might have a visual in your mind of your body with this beaming light from the heart center filling up all the cells of your body. Or there may be less of a visual and more of a sensation. And as you're sitting with your attention in your heart center, let yourself rest there. Let yourself bask in that light and that energy of the heart center. The word courage in English is related to the French word Couer, which means heart. Notice if that resonates. Courage of the heart. And so much resilience, the willingness and the ability, the capacity to feel. And this may be a newer, more developing capacity. We're not really encouraged to feel in our culture. There's some kind of heartfelt wish that we all have to be in touch with our own heart. Let's rest with that, what it is that's drawing us in. And you may have lots of images or memories or something coming up. And if they're getting kind of compelling, then you could use tapping. Bring your attention to the sound and sensation of the tapping on your forehead, or one of the other methods that we use to work with persistent thoughts. We're aware of the thoughts in the mind, if there are any, that they come and they go. And then we're really focused in on the energy at the heart center. What does the heart know about courage and resilience? And we drop the words in and then we listen. What does the heart know about courage and resilience? We might put our hand on our heart if we find our mind is wandering in particular. Bring yourself back with that feeling of warmth at your heart center. I'm willing to feel. I have the capacity to stay with my feelings. Not in a perfect way either. We're not doing that. Just notice your intention and your willingness to feel. And every time we've stayed with a feeling and welcomed it, we build that capacity. We develop that confidence. And bring your attention back if it's wandered off somewhere. We're just sitting in the heart center, noticing courage, resilience, maybe that warm glow of golden light that fills up our whole body, radiates out from the heart center. Our intention and willingness to feel. Notice your breath. Notice the rhythm and pace of your breath. Notice your body, your feet on the floor, your seat, whatever is supporting your body. Notice how that feels. And notice your experience in your body now, head to toes. I feel strong and resilient. To whatever degree we do at this moment. Notice what that feels like. And then when you're ready, open your eyes.